Hi and welcome to a new episode of the Z Zone. This time we're gonna explore the top 10 rock and metal films you absolutely must experience. First out, a film that plunges you deep into the gloriously chaotic universe of heavy metal excess. A legendary British band embarks on a disastrous American tour where everything that can go wrong does, and usually in the most absurd fashion imaginable. Exploding amplifiers, backstage egos, disappearing drummers, and stage productions collapsing into catastrophe. We got Spinal Tap, Tap into America. This goes to 11, a classic line. You can see that, why it's there, 11. One louder, classic scene. There's so many recognitions if you have been in the music industry, outplaying most of the bands have experienced at least a couple of those occasions mentioned here. Absolutely brilliant. Also is supposed to have said that, yeah, not much of a comedy, this is the way it is. And he's not wrong at all. So definitely, this is a must. Spinal Tap, Tap into America. The Chaos returns, one louder. A once iconic rock band reunites in a desperate attempt to reclaim former glory, but old habits die hard. Their comeback spirals into increasingly ridiculous disasters, larger stage spectacles, and even more catastrophic misunderstandings. The film celebrates the ridiculous immortality of rock excess. Spinal Tap 2. The end continues. We can see Elton John and Paul McCartney show up. A lot of things happen. Nigel has his cheese guitar shop, which is hilarious when you can go in and get a half kilo of cheese and you trade with a half kilo of guitar. So definitely worth watching. Take first number 1 and then number 2. One louder again. Spinal Tap 2, the end continues. A deeply nostalgic and emotionally charged journey into the golden age of 1970s rock. A young, aspiring journalist suddenly finds himself touring with a rising rock band, discovering the intoxicating heights and heartbreaking lows hidden behind fame, freedom, and music. Backstage secrets, chaotic concerts, groupies, rivalries, and late-night confessions create a mesmerizing portrait of youth and rock and roll mythology. What makes the film even more fascinating is that the fictional band in the story was inspired by several legendary real-life groups. Director Cameron Crowe drew inspiration from bands he encountered during his years writing for Rolling Stones. Particularly icons such as Led Zeppelin, the Eagles, the Allman Brothers Band. The atmosphere, personalities, and backstage dynamics reflect the authentic spirit of the era's greatest rock legends. We have Almost Famous. It's a kind of road movie that captures the environment at the time, and actually, those things happen. You think that someone will start off as a famous journalist and will do those kind of writings, but often it starts off like that, just by occasions. You're just there at the right time, and the rest is history. So, check this out. Almost Famous. Great kind of road movie, and it captures the environment at the time. Really having a blast. Check it out. 4 obsessive teenage rock fans launch themselves into a reckless mission to see their favorite band live. What begins as a simple road trip quickly spirals to total mayhem involving wild parties, police chases, strict parents, and non-stop chaos fueled by pure rock adrenaline. We have Detroit Rock City. They are on the way to see Kiss at Cobo Arena. If I could be there, I would have done exactly the same thing as they do to see that concert. That's a classic concert. And at the time, if you weren't there, it's difficult to understand, but I had posters of Kiss in my boy room all over the place, and it was a total Kiss mania during this period. And there is an interview in the bonus material with Ace Frehley, and he's talking about this period of time and the parents burning records, especially in the Bible Belt. And isn't it funny that, especially in the 70s, that some people always have to burn records. It doesn't matter if it's Kiss or Sex Pistols or whatever, something with burning. I think that's kind of hilarious, actually. Anyway, great fun to see for me, who was actually a young boy at the time, so I understand the guys. A gripping dive into the seductive yet brutal world of heavy metal superstardom. A devoted tribute band singer unexpectedly receives the chance of a lifetime, becoming the new frontman of the world's biggest metal band. What follows is a whirlwind of sold-out arenas, backstage success. Rockstar. What makes the story especially compelling is that the film is loosely inspired by the real-life moment when legendary metal band Judas Priest replaced iconic vocalist Rob Halford with Tim "Ripper" Owens, a former Judas Priest tribute band singer who suddenly found himself living the dream of every metal fan. These things actually could happen, and thanks to YouTube, all the tribute bands out there, really good musicians. We have Erik Grönwall founding himself in Skid Row, one of his favorite bands. And in this film, I have to give some credit to Mark Wahlberg and also Zakk Wylde. Great performance in this movie. So we have Rockstar. In a tiny village close to the polar circle in Finland, 4 lifelong metalheads who have spent years rehearsing throws you straight into a raucous, unforgettable heavy metal odyssey that turns into a wild road trip filled with stolen vehicles, grave robbing, antics, accidental border conflicts along the way. Tor must battle crippling stage fright, chase his crush Mia, and prove himself and the world that his band's brutal sound has a place on the stage they've always dreamed of. We have Heavy Trip. I just love Finnish humor. We have so much in common, we and the British, when it comes to humor. And Finland also has a big rock metal scene. And I can see some of the glimpse in the eyes when they say we have a mission from Satan, and Blues Brothers, they have a mission from God. That's a great one. So Heavy Trip, great Finnish movie. 2 aspiring rock gods set out on an epic quest to retrieve a mythical guitar pick rumored to possess supernatural music power. Their journey descends into surreal madness filled with demonic encounters, ridiculous trials, and explosive musical battles worthy of rock mythology itself. We have Tenacious D in the pick of destiny. Jack Black is brilliant, and his partner Kyle Gass is a great sparring partner. And I think that makes the film so great because they fit together. And Dave Grohl as the devil, great fun to watch. Jack Black, great performance, great movie. Thank you. A powerful, authentic rock biopic, intense, emotionally gripping and inspiring, offering a raw glimpse into an all-female 1970s rock band. The film captures the heights and lows of chasing the famed 70s music world. Every clash between ambition and personal relationship is grounded in reality, portraying the courage. We have the Runaways. The band came in the same era as Kiss and Sweet, and I followed them and bought a couple of albums, and they were in the same kind of division as Sweet and Kiss and all those bands for me. So Runaways, great fun to watch, because I didn't have the time to see them when they were here in Sweden at the time. A fearless teenager obsessed with punk rock ignites a full-scale rebellion inside her oppressive high school. When her favorite band arrives, the students unleash complete anarchy against authority through outrageous pranks, explosive music, and unapologetic teenage defiance. Rock and Roll High School, a classic high school film. And the Ramones got a new audience after this movie, and no doubt it was a good investment for them. A dark and hypnotic journey into the rise and downfall of one of rock's most enigmatic frontmen. The film captures the intoxicating heights and artistic brilliance alongside the destructive consequences of fame, addiction, and self-destruction. We have The Doors. Don't do drugs. At their heights, they were really great, and at their lows, not that great. I've heard some clips with Jimi Hendrix playing with Jim Morrison, and they were far out. Anyway, since band members were involved in the history of making the film, it gives you an honest film experience of the band. And still, some of the performance and some songwriting and lyrics from Jim Morrison are absolutely marvelous. So, The Doors.